Captain on the bridge.
Alright, Captains, we are back on the bridge, and today what I wanted to go over was the upcoming Cerritos. So, as we've found out already, the Cerritos is coming to Star Trek Online, and we did a video on that previously, and at the time we didn't know, or I didn't know, how we were going to get that. But it was confirmed on a recent stream with Ambassador Kale that the Cerritos indeed is going into a lockbox. Now, I have said this before, and I want to make sure that I get this out before the Cerritos actually does come into game. I'm not the hugest fan of the Cerritos, but I can't really say it's growing on me. But because it is the central ship for Lower Decks, which, by the way, Captains, I love Lower Decks. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and I do hope to cover more stuff on it. Maybe not so Star Trek Online related, but just kind of like reaction stuff, especially like with the trailer that we did for Season 3. Just kind of more like that, because I am enjoying it. At first, it was sort of a little bit too much in your face, but after watching seasons 1 and 2, I did fall in love with it. So there's that. But that's another discussion for another video. This one, I want to focus on this. So, Captains, you already saw on the thumbnail that the Cerritos is a very odd-looking ship, to say the least. But it's the central character, or central ship character for Lower Decks. And it would be nice to have it just for the sake of having it. But it coming straight to the lockbox, I know personally, Captains, there are captains who are not going to like that. Personally, for me, I am not sure if I'm going to get it, but I would like to have it to add to the collection of the ships that I have. Now, I'm going to bring up possible alternatives that we can get it, and it's already things that we have in place in game. What do I mean by that? So, first, again, we're here on screen here. We have the thumbnail that we're working on. Let me say, I just have fun working on the thumbnails, Captains. So forgive me for all the stuff that I put on there, but I do quite enjoying it. So thumbnail here, as you can see, of course, the lockbox there. So the alternative option that we have is maybe putting a version of this in the C-store is my first thought. So as you can see, again, there I am pointing that the Cerritos is coming in lockbox, but maybe, why not put a version of it in the C-store? Does it have to be a tier 6 with specializations? No. Why can't it be a C-store version that is a tier 5? No specializations at all. And having said that, it has been mentioned in Lower Decks that the Cerritos, there's like different versions of this. There's a tactical, science, and engineering, I believe, if I remember correctly. If not, Captains, correct me if I'm wrong. But regardless, this is a workhorse of Starfleet, and there are different variations of this out there in the Star Trek universe doing what it is required of it. That is not requiring any galaxy or sovereign or whatever have you. So why not carry that theme into Star Trek Online? Have a version in the C-store that is not going to hinder the sales of the, of course, main ship Cerritos that comes into the lockbox, or that will be coming from the lockbox. Now, we already have this in Star Trek Online. What do I mean by that? So let's go into the bridge here. So this is the walker. I present Exhibit A. So, I already have the tier 6 version of this, the promo version that came out. And I bought it instantly because I loved this ship when it came out. And I was hoping, of course, at that time, please don't make it promo, please don't make it promo. And what did they do? They made a promo. Now, I think it was about a year after, possibly, or maybe within the year, they came up with Age of Discovery. With Age of Discovery, what did they do? They gave us a version of the Walker as sort of a starter ship that you can use. And I believe this was actually the experiment that they used to kind of give us ships that we can level up with, if I'm not mistaken. How'd they do that? Well, what they did was they gave us where'd it go here? The Age of Discovery starter pack. And what did it come with? A lesser version of the Walker. Now, a lot of captains, like I said, are going to be very, are upset that this Cerritos is going to be in a lockbox. Some of them just want this as just a skin to have, just to kind of, you know, putt around in the universe in their little Cerritos doing their own thing. This is a tier 4 version, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so again, it's a prototype light exploration cruiser, scales with the level. So this is one of the first ships we got that we can start with level. Now, I bring this up too as well because they're revamping the Federation tutorial. So I'm going to get into that a little bit later, but we're going to concentrate on this as an alternative way to get the Cerritos. Why not give us something like this, a starter pack that you're revamping, especially that you're bringing the Cerritos in as your starter ship? Because the starter ship in-game that you get is the tier 1 Miranda. Fine and dandy. Why not give us a Cerritos that we can purchase off the C-Store that'll just give us access to this skin? And this is a tier 4 version, if I'm not mistaken. It's not the best, but it allows a lot of captains an alternative way to get this skin. And captains will pay Zen for this. I did. I have this ship. I actually have 3 versions of this ship. I have the promo, I have the starter pack one over here, and I have the legendary version. Sometimes we just want the skin though. Why not give us this option to get the Cerritos via this way? And it's gonna make the company money. I understand, and they've said it flat out, lockboxes is where their money's at. I'm okay with that to a certain degree because I know companies have to make money. Let's not get this twisted, captains. At the end of the day, the company needs to make money. Why not give an alternate option to get a skin at a cheaper price, but it's money that is being left on the table. So why not give us, like I said, a version of the Cerritos in a starter pack with the upcoming Federation tutorial revamp? Just throwing that out there. You know, it doesn't always have to be about the lockbox ships. Why not give us lesser versions of them? Tier 5, Tier 4, this is not the best ship. But guess what? It looks pretty. It looks pretty. And station-wise, okay, so it's a 4-3. Station-wise, this is all you got to work with. A Lieutenant Tactical, a Commander Engineering, a Lieutenant Engineering, and a Lieutenant Science. Guess what? This can probably still do, no, it can do normal to advanced content, no problem. Especially if you're in your group content with a bunch of your fellow captains that you pew-pews with regularly. Because let's face it, if I took this into a group with my captains, I'm being carried. But I would like to bring this because if this is the only ship I could get at the time or afford, I'd bring it because regardless, this is what I'm after. At the end of the day, me personally, captains, at the end of the day, this is what I'm after, this ship. So that I can be on the bridge, I can do my pew pews? Can it do the hyper elites Corfez? No. Do I does it have to be? No. I just want to have it. I just want another option. I just want to be able to have another option. Give us another option to get these ships that you need to, quote unquote, or have to put in paywalls to make money, but then give it to us the another way. And again, just another version of it, just to lower. Take the specialization out, take the trade out, take the console out, give us the bare bones tier 4. I'd love it more tier 5 version, to be honest with you, but tier 4, I'd accept it. Now, having said that, there's that, Exhibit A. Exhibit B. Exhibit B. Currently, as the recording of this video, there's a Gamma Recruit event going on. As the ship that you get to start at level 60, you get a tier 5 bug ship. For free. For free. One more time. For free. It's just a skin. And this is actually even better than the walker that you have to pay for. So let's go into game here just to show. Now, captains, when I first started in 2014, at the time, the bug ship was all the rave. All the rave. And I'm going to admit I did want it. But I'm glad I didn't actually get it, because I eventually ended up actually winning an ultra rare token from the Phoenix prize pack. And guess what I did? It kind of lined up that I had that the Gamma Recruit was a thing, started, and I got that. But this ship that I have right here, this is the free ship that you get. And it's a tier 5. It's a 4-3 capable ship. You get this for free. Station wise, look at that. This you can make this work, especially on how Stowe is now in the current state it is. This is all I wanted. Is the skin. Why not give us a free ship with the upcoming Federation tutorial revamp as an option? Exhibit B. Because again, like I said before, captains, sometimes we just want ships for the sake of having the ship. I personally don't care about how it performs, in all honesty, to be 100%. As long as I have the ship and it looks pretty while I do my pew-pews. And my pew-pews, not that hard. Normal to advanced. 95% of the time, 99% of the time, I'm doing normal to advanced TFOs with my fellow captains. We get through the missions easily enough that, yeah, we can start bringing in tier 5 ships, tier 4 ships, and we'll still do fine. And that's why I always say captains always try to find like-minded people, like-minded captains, so that your pew-pews will be enjoyable. But that's another discussion for another video. So I wanted to bring that up in this video, which was I understand that Cryptic has to make, we have to make, of course I have to make money, but Cryptic has to make money. LOCKBOXes is just one of the best ways, period, point blank, promo ships, that they make money. But they can also make additional money, because captains that cannot and will not buy those type of ships, they may buy these ships that you put in the Z store. So that's like money being left on the table. So not only will you get the players that will buy the ship because it is the best performing tier of that ship, but you'll also have captains who just want to buy the skin for it at a lesser value, at a lesser cost. But guess what? You're still making money. It's better than zero. Better than zero, in my opinion. And to make it a little bit more exclusive, of course, for the tier 6, the promo version, LOCKBOX version, you're going to get a trait, right? You're going to get a console. Why not also give it an exclusive skin to just sweeten that deal a little bit more? What do I mean by that? Let's go back to that thumbnail that we had on earlier. Right? Now, originally there was an actual pre-design of the Cerritos that was supposed to be the original skin, or that was supposed to be the ship design. And here it is. I saw this and I was like, yeah, I want that. So why not to make the pot sweeter for those who can afford the, say, higher tier version, the promo version of the Cerritos, give this option as an alternate skin. Because we know that it is possible. Again, it is in game, these types of situations already where they will give us skins from the show. Example is the Ambassador. We all know on the Enterprise D, in the meeting room there, they had actually the original concept art from Andrew Probert that was, now that we have in game, the Narendra. So I am not saying that this is the same by any means, no, but what I'm trying to say is sweeten the pot so that you can have people going for this. Again, those are just my two ECs on this matter, but for me personally, I would love to add it to my collection. I would. I'll say that right now. It's not the it's I'm sorry. It's not the best looking ship, but to have it, I personally love my Parliament. Captains, you know that. I love my Parliament. And it would be fun though to see a fleet of ships in Star Trek Online, and I bet you that you would have a lot more captains flying the Cerritos if they had the option of getting it via the C-Store. And again, it doesn't have to be a Tier 6 version. Tier 5 would be great. It's just money being given. Tier 4, sure, whatever. But we have options, and I'm trying to throw that out there to see why not give us either a starter ship as a Cerritos, just like you did with the Gamma Recruit, which is a Tier 5 bug ship that is quite capable. Give it all universal stations that make for a fun time. Or give it us through a starter pack to go along with this new revamped tutorial that'll give us a starter ship like the Walker, so that, again, we just have other options to get the skin, because sometimes all we want is just a ship. And this is not just something that can just be sort of just for the Cerritos. How about all those other ships that we have out there? Homo ships, again, just a recent ship. So let's say the Section 31 Dreadnought. Again, something like that. Why not give us a C-Store version? And don't release it. Maybe don't release it on the day of. Release it a month, 2 months, 3 months after. And then you'll still make additional money, in my opinion. This is, again, captains, let me make this clear. This is just my opinion. This is my two ECs. I'm throwing this down there because, again, I love all the Trek happening right now. And like it or not, Lower Decks is part of that. I'm not sure how you captains feel about it. I love it. I would love to have a bit more piece of it in Star Trek Online. I have the Parliament. Would it be nice to have, let's say, a themed run on Lower Decks, having a bunch of Cerritos out there take down the Borg? It would be hilarious. I'd be down for that, just for the sake of it. It wouldn't be my main ship. It wouldn't be a ship that I would go back to or main, but it would just be nice to have. So, again, gonna give my conclusions here, captains. It would be nice if we had the Cerritos as a free ship with the revamped tutorial, a free ship as a starter ship now, as you just creating a new character, or a version of it that is a level ship that you can get from the C-Store. Tier 4, I prefer Tier 5. but just give us a version of the Cerritos or any ship really going forward as a sort of option to get the skin of any ship that is coming out. And then have the promo version as normally as it does, usually with especially canon ships that they get the tier 6 versions, we just get newer skins. Example, just like the 10th anniversary bundle, the Ross, that is an exclusive skin. Just the thought I could take out of my head there. So the promo skin, the promo ship, lockbox promo ship will have, of course, the trait, the console, and a skin that is, again, unique to that, and an incentive, additional incentive for captains who want to get that ship. And again, we'll make them money, and it's just money being left on the table, in my opinion. So I didn't want to make this too long. I'm ranting at this point, but those are just my two ECs. Captains, what do you think? Maybe we can do a push here that we can get this video out there, have our thoughts given, push to the devs and say, hey, listen, why not? And maybe this is something that can spark a discussion, right, to the devs. And because in my opinion, it's leaving money on the table. Why not? So let us know in the comments below what your thoughts is, what your recommendations is, what your suggestions is, and maybe we can try to bring it up to them. Along with that, like the video. Captains, I'd like to take this opportunity once again to thank you, Captains, for the support that you've been showing us here on the YouTube bridge. I've just been overwhelmed. I never thought that it would get to this point. Right now, as of recording this video, we are at 920 subscribers. I'm humbled. I am honored. Captains, look out for more videos, more content from us, but really, it's all about just sharing our love for Star Trek/Star Trek Online with you fellow captains here on the YouTube bridge. So if you haven't yet, captains, consider subscribing, turn on that notification bell so that you know when we drop our 2 ECs, because captains, I have a lot of 2 ECs. I may not have a billion EC, well, I do, but sorry. I have 2 ECs, and with the 2 ECs, there'll always be videos that are reflective of my opinions, of what I think, my suggestions, but most importantly, like I said, my passion and love for Star Trek Online. And I will say it again, I've said it before, it is a great time to be Star Trek Online captain. I am more excited now than I was when I first started playing Star Trek Online. So with that, we're going to leave it on this advice, with this sort of sentiment that I've always remembered to this day. Whenever I say captains, whenever I use that word, whenever I salute you, captains, when you come onto the bridge, or whether it be here on the YouTube bridge or the Twitch bridge, which I will always invite you, captains, to join us there on the Twitch bridge. But having said that, look out for more streams here on the YouTube bridge, because we will be doing that, especially when we hit certain milestones. So again, captains, thank you for listening. We'll leave it on this note.
Don't let them promote you. Don't let them transfer you. Don't let them do anything that takes you off the bridge of that ship, because while you're there, you can make a difference.